Coach, a few days from the season opener, where, when you look back at the last 7 months or so, do you think your team's progressed the most?
Well, when you start from scratch, obviously you're implementing a lot. I think everything is a work in progress right now. I wouldn't say there's one thing, but guys are working hard. Like, the work ethic is great. The attitude is great. But everything is so new and fresh. It's going to get better and better as time progresses. But, the biggest thing you're trying to do when you get a new program and you're trying to install everything and build everything is can you get the commitment to working hard every day and, the commitment to that process. And they've been good there. So, going to take some time, obviously.
From the game pressure, maybe tweaking your rotations, playing in front of a crowd, what was the most beneficial thing about Murray State and Toledo, or is it just all of the above?
Yeah, they were all great. As we try to figure out that way of scheduling exhibition games, I do love playing in front of fans just because it just feels a little more stressful. Toledo was also beneficial, but when there's nobody there, it feels certainly more like a practice scrimmage type deal. But both of them were great. Any film that we can kind of get that's not against each other where, you don't prepare for those games like you would a real game, but inevitably the other teams are going to do different things than you do, and it's going to, remind you, we got to work on this a little bit more, and maybe we neglected that. So both were really, really good, really beneficial. I wish we could play more of them, but we're certainly better playing both of them.
Coaches always talk about what they saw in film that needs to be corrected from the preseason. What did you see that you liked from those two exhibition changes?
If you're talking about the Murray game, the response offensively was terrific. We went from 20-something points to 44, made an adjustment that they understood and they executed really, really well. Toledo game was different. We shot the ball very, very well, but we turned it over 19 times. Some of that was us. Some of that was certainly them. But going to be very, very hard to win any games if you turn the ball over at that rate. But yeah, I think they understand the pace at which we're trying to play. I still think conditioning is a little bit of a factor. We're having to pull guys a lot more than maybe I had to do it in New Mexico, playing the same style. But that'll come in time as well. But like I said, I thought both of them, there was a lot of positives, and also every coach on the planet right now said we got a lot of work to do in other things as well.
As we get closer to that first game, when you get the night before the game or day of the game, do you anticipate any type of feelings, emotions, or anything like that, nervousness when you switch jobs, or is it at this point for you, is it kind of like it's always the same when you start the season?
No, it's different. Yeah, it's weird when you're so accustomed to your game day routine at a different place. It felt weird for sure walking in, more so for the Murray game than Toledo, because Toledo, there was nobody around. But yeah, you're figuring out your routine, where you're going to park, where are you going to sit before the game. You go in coach's locker room, your office, whatever. So there's little things like that for sure. But yeah, I would say I felt it in a big way versus Murray. Just kind of looking up like, this isn't the pit. This is pretty cool. This is different. All those things. But then obviously once the ball goes up, you kind of really narrow your focus. But all good feelings for sure.
Diving into the scouting report on Marist this week, what do you make of that team with some camaraderie coming back and a team that really excelled defensively last season? Yeah,
defense, he's built it kind of from the ground up, taking a little time. He got better every single year. We gotta value the basketball. They kind of pack it in. They've got some key guys back. I believe they won 20 games, so they're going to be feeling good about themselves. So we'll dive in. We're off tomorrow, and we'll kind of turn the page. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll be big on Marist, but very, very well coached. A program that's been built the right way, and they had a really good year last year.
Coach, I'm curious, listening to your podcast, I know you mentioned after the exhibition you felt like you wanted to play Roddy and Isaiah a little bit. I mean, not Roddy, excuse me, All and Isaiah a little bit more off the bench. Did you feel like you changed the rotations a little bit more for the Akron?
Toledo.
Or Toledo, excuse me.
Listen, you got to lock in. It's early in the season.
Yeah,
You got to be better.
It's a lot of names floating around.
Yeah, I
right
mean,
now.
I would say I definitely looked at different lineups the second game for sure. I remember looking back going, man, I needed to play Isaiah more. I needed to play All more. We got them more opportunities, which was good for them because that's what those games are for, those exhibition games. So I talked to them both after the game and say, hey, be ready. I'm gonna increase that. Went with Jovan at the 5 a little bit more than maybe what I did the first game. That was good. And, yeah, you're just trying to gather as much data as you possibly can of lineups. You know, we're lucky to have a really cool advanced analytics kind of thing that we bought, and we communicate with them. And one of the things I told them was, like, it's hard after 2 exhibition games to really know such small sample size, but, like, hey, as we – maybe after 5-6 games, like what lineups? Because plus minus can be a little bit deceiving. Like Trey had a horrendous plus minus versus Toledo, and he played terrific. So constantly tinkering with that so that we can kind of see what's working together and what's not.
How have you seen guys like Jovan and Phillip who played with you last year at New Mexico? Have you seen them take on a role with some of the guys that haven't played under you?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely the familiarity. Which just that's the positive of retention. Although they were at New Mexico last year, it feels as though we retained those 2. But it's also going to be new for them. You know, I mean, like Jovan seemed nervous the first game, and that's good, you know, but he bounced back in a big way the second game. So it's nice to have those 2 guys. They're great guys. They work hard. They understand the system, and that's big when I'm not around and they're in the locker room and they're talking about kind of the belief of, hey, we were with them. We won a championship in a really good league. You know, we won a game in the NCAA tournament. This will work. We just got to stick to the plan.
Is there any strategy involved or conversations involved with the new challenge system?
Yeah, I mean, we had a Zoom with the Big East. It was really good. I mean, I think you just got to save your timeouts. I think that would be the strategy. You know, you can't get down to the wire there where you only have one timeout. So that would be the one thing. And I've traditionally tried to at least have 2 towards the end of the game anyway. But I would say that will be in the back of my mind a little bit more now moving forward.